Touch Pro, Fuse, Sprint, AT&T, Noah from PhoneDog.com behind the camera. What's up, everybody? You don't need to see me. You're not here to see me. You're here to see the phones. It's the Sprint Touch Pro and the AT&T Fuse, two versions of the HTC Touch Pro. They're both shiny. Wow, look at how shiny they are. They're both shiny. They both are Windows Mobile 6.1, Windows Mobile 6.1 Pro phones. They both have slide-out QWERTY boards, full touchscreens, VGA touchscreens, and they're both available now. These are your two options if you want the Touch Pro on a US carrier. I've been playing with them both. They're both excellent devices. There's some subtle and not so subtle differences, so let's take a look. First off, if you look at the two phones, the form factors are slightly different. A lot of people cried foul when Sprint released the Touch Diamond and the Touch Diamond rather, because it had a rounded back, and the Touch Pro follows suit. The Sprint Touch Pro doesn't have the faceted back, but instead it has the rounded back here. This is a silver, kind of gray on silver color scheme. The Fuse, on the other hand, has the original Touch Diamond back, all black styling. The Fuse is also a little bit shorter than the Sprint Touch Pro. If you look at it from top to bottom there, you'll see it's just a little bit shorter on top and about the same width. And they're about the same thickness. You can see there that it's hard to line them up exactly if I do it this way. But the Fuse on top is definitely a little bit shorter than the Sprint Touch Pro is. They're both pretty bulky phones. I mean, you get, unlike a BlackBerry Bold or an iPhone 3G, where you have kind of a taller, wider, but thin smartphone design, with these guys you get shorter, smaller, but definitely thick. They're both a little bit hefty, they're both thick, they feel good in the hand, but in the pocket they're going to make a lump in your jeans, so to speak. But you probably don't care about that if you're looking at the high end. I mean, maybe you do, but you probably just want the power. And you get the power here. We'll look at the keyboards real quick. You can see the auto rotate to get the landscape mode menu here. The keyboards are pretty similar. The Sprint version has the green accents. The AT&T Fuse has the blue accents. And actually, if you look at them, I said they're pretty similar. They are, but there are a few differences. The first thing you notice is that on the Sprint version, on the Touch Pro, you have the number row across the top. On the Fuse for AT&T, you instead have the dialing keypad here, and it's only accessible when you hit the function key. So if you want to get to the numerical buttons here, you have to hit function to get to them, whereas it's across the top here on the Sprint version. Your function key is in a slightly different place. On the Sprint version, it's on the bottom row. On the Fuse, it's on the left column there. A couple of additional shortcut keys. They're just kind of different. Instead of comparing, I'll just go real quick. On the Touch Pro, you've got the browser shortcut key down here next to the space bar. The space bar doubles as a T9 shortcut. You've got your communication shortcut key here. And some of the symbol shortcuts are in slightly different places. Whereas if you go down onto the Fuse, you've got, like we said, your numerical keypad shortcuts here, but then you've got shortcuts to your music, SMS, IM, CV, cellular video, and then your T9 shortcut, instead of being on space, is symbol. T9 on the Touch Pro is the shortcut on space. On the Fuse, it's over here, all the way over on the right arrow key. And you've got a Windows Mobile shortcut key on the Fuse, whereas on the Touch Pro you don't have that. Instead you have your numerical row up here, and then a couple of other kind of modest differences in the keypads. And again, we'll show you the back. They both have a 3.2 megapixel camera with autofocus and flash, but the Fuse has that faceted diamond back that some people really, really like. It is a fingerprint magnet, no doubt. The Sprint version, it's more of a matte finish, so you don't get all the fingerprints. Another big difference is on the right side of the Fuse, you have a push-to-talk button. So the AT&T version has a push-to-talk service built in with a dedicated hardware button. On the, I'm sorry, on the left side, I said right side, this is on the left side of the phone. On the left side of the Sprint Touch Pro, you just have the rocker switch, no push-to-talk button. I'm making all the touch keys here go bonkers. Both phones have a stylus in the bottom corner. The stylus is actually a little bit different if you care about these things. On the Touch Pro, the Sprint Touch Pro, it's got a kind of a longer, thinner end than on the Fuse. And same connector on the bottom, the HTC USB-based audio connector, your one accessory port for charging headphones, all that good stuff. All right, so we'll look at the phones themselves. And when you look at the interface, you know, slightly different color scheme here. The AT&T version is obviously a GSM phone with 3G. Sprint version's got the CDMA radio with the EVDU. If you look on the bottom menu here and we scroll through, you can see the icons are slightly different. And we get to this this one, and you've got, on the AT&T version, before you get to the internet menu, you've got a special AT&T menu. And we'll focus in on this for a second and go through real quick. There's your push-to-talk, games and apps, CV cellular video, tools, AT&T GPS, messaging, AT&T Music, AT&T Mall, MediaNet Home. So a little bit more branding in terms of additional services, I guess. It's just a little bit different because there's no dedicated Sprint menu on here. But when we get a little further, you get to Sprint Music on the Sprint version. And you can see that you get, on the AT&T version, it's just the standard HTC music interface, TouchFlow 3D music interface. On the Sprint version, you've got that and a smaller relief underneath a link to the Sprint Music Store. I love this little, is it going to do the wiper for me? Oh no, it didn't do it. I love the windshield wiper effect on the weather widget there. Photos and videos in a slightly different place on the two menus, but it's there for both. You can swipe through, whoops. Swipe through on both of them, there you go. Same sample photos. Sprint TV. So instead of having a dedicated Sprint menu here, it's the Sprint TV menu. And you can get Sprint TV. You can also get, I thought it also had a link there to the Sprint. Yeah, there you go. So Sprint TV, or you can get the Sprint Radio, or you can get the Sprint C exclusive entertainment. And then there's your weather and your settings and your programs, just like on the Fuse. Not exactly the same, but similar. They both have the Opera browser. And so we'll go back to home and we'll take a look actually for a second here at the Internet tab, because this is kind of interesting. The Sprint version is kind of more like the standard HTC. You've got your launch browser link, you've got your YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, and then on the AT&T version, it's MediaNet, and then you've got some AT&T branded stuff. Whoops, didn't mean to do that, sorry. You've got some AT&T branded stuff here with the Yellow Pages app, AT&T support, all that kind of stuff. Facebook, MySpace, Flickr, etc. And you'll notice the AT&T version has Flickr, and it has a link to Yahoo, and a link to Yahoo Search, whereas the Sprint version has a link to YouTube, and none of the Yahoo or Flickr stuff. And so that just has to do with Sprint and AT&T. You never see Google-owned services on AT&T phones, except for the iPhone, so far as I know. You don't have the YouTube client here on the AT&T device. On other AT&T, their new messaging phones, you don't see Gmail. You can't get to Gmail on the email clients. So you don't have the YouTube app or the other Google stuff. You can get to YouTube via the mobile YouTube on the AT&T Fuse, whereas on Sprint, you've got that custom YouTube client. So just, something to point out there.